crocodile can be worth over $2,500. But what makes it so expensive? According to the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, in the U.S. alone, the crocodile industry generates over $100 million annually. How exactly is crocodile skin processed to turn it into a luxury item? And would you dare to watch the entire process from start to finish? In the 19th century, crocodiles in the southern U.S. were hunted nearly to extinction, mainly for their skins. By the 1960s, the federal government was forced to list them as a protected species. But instead of a full ban, the U.S. chose a different path: controlled farming, licensed killing. From there, commercial crocodile farms emerged, conserving the species while making a profit. Louisiana and Florida quickly turned it into a tightly regulated legal business. Today, crocodiles are no longer just wild creatures from the swamps. They're the input of a billion-dollar supply chain. So how exactly are crocodiles farmed, slaughtered, and processed? In Louisiana, crocodile breeding season starts around June. Licensed egg collectors reach natural nests by boat, usually in the early morning when the mother leaves to hunt. Each nest holds about 30 to 50 eggs, but only intact, uncracked ones are selected. The eggs are then placed in insulated boxes filled with dry straw and sand, mimicking the original nest conditions, and transported back to the farm. There, the eggs are moved to incubators with a controlled temperature of 30 to 32 degrees Celsius and 90% humidity. And here's the interesting part you may not have heard. Incubation temperature determines the crocodile's sex. Guess what? 30 degrees Celsius yields females. 33 degrees Celsius yields males. Which means, in theory, farms can program the sex of thousands, depending on commercial goals. If you didn't know this, hit like on the video. Because what you're about to see next is just as surprising. After 65 to 70 days, the eggs begin to hatch. Hatch rates in farm conditions exceed 85%, more than double the rate in the wild. And that's just the beginning. Because from the moment a crocodile cracks open its egg, the profit clock starts ticking. Baby crocodiles are transferred to covered enclosures with artificial pools. Each enclosure is about 10 to 20 square meters, housing 50 to 100 crocodiles, sorted by size. Water temperature is maintained at 28 to 30 degrees Celsius with heating systems, and lighting alternates to simulate a natural day-night cycle. They're fed twice daily, a mix of ground chicken, fish scraps, and commercial pellets fortified with vitamin A, D, and calcium. After about 12 to 18 months, they reach 1.2 to 1.5 meters in length and weigh around 12 to 20 kilograms. Staff inspect each one's skin by hand and with light, checking for scratches, scars, or broken scales. Only about 60% meet commercial-grade leather standards. From here, every decision is down to millimeters and seconds, because one mistake can turn $1,000 skin into dead stock. Selected crocodiles are captured alive using specialized neck hooks. To avoid damaging the skin, the head is secured and the crocodile is stunned with low-voltage electricity, similar to cattle slaughtering. Next, a pneumatic bolt is fired precisely into the skull, and a knife is inserted into the spinal cord to halt all nerve activity. Immediately after, the crocodile is hung belly out on a steel hook. A precise incision is made from under the neck to the tail. This is the signature belly cut technique to extract the most valuable skin. Skinning takes about 10 to 15 minutes per crocodile. And this is where the true value of the skin is determined, not during slaughter, but afterward. Immediately after skinning, the leather is soaked in salt water for about 48 hours to remove blood and prevent decay. Then comes a 30 to 45-day treatment process. First, the skin is cleaned and stripped of flesh and fat using rotating drums. Next is the tanning stage, using chrome sulfate, which makes the skin more durable, rot-resistant, and shape-stable. After tanning, the skin is pH-balanced, thoroughly washed, and pressed to flatten and stretch it to standard size. It's then treated against mold by soaking or spraying with a biological preservative, usually benzalkonium chloride, a food-safe antibacterial compound. This step protects the skin during packing, transport, and storage. Finally comes dyeing. Depending on order specs, the leather is dipped or sprayed with aniline dyes, which soak deep into the fibers without covering the natural grain. For premium batches, a final layer of wax or UV gloss is added to create shine, resist scratches, and prevent fading. The entire process takes 30 to 45 days. Before packing, each skin is inspected under special lighting for thickness, elasticity, and color consistency. Even a minor flaw, a crease or discoloration, can disqualify it from high-end markets. Once processing is complete, skins are sorted one last time and packed for export. Grade A leather, flawless and fold-free, is purchased directly by fashion brands. The most common products: wallets, watch straps, shoes, or car interiors. Some batches are shipped to Italy, France, or Japan for further craftsmanship. the meat takes a different route. Tail meat, tender and low in sinew, is the most sought after. After sorting, it's vacuum-sealed, flash-frozen at -18 degrees Celsius, and distributed to specialty restaurants or premium meat markets in Florida, Texas, and California. A standard crocodile can yield a skin worth $400 to $1,500, 8 to 12 kilograms of meat, retailing at $12 to $18 per pound, plus byproducts like the head, bones, and claws, sold for handicrafts or pet food. The total value can exceed $2,500 per crocodile, assuming no mistakes in any step. Here, every part of the crocodile is worth money, and nothing goes to waste. Every year, the U.S. produces over 228 billion pounds of milk, enough to fill 11,000 Olympic pools. Cow's milk is everywhere. In your breakfast, your coffee, even the midnight cheeseburger you ordered. But how do they manage to extract that much milk every single day? And what's behind the dairy industry might change the way you see your morning glass of milk. Milk used to be a farm-only product, hand-milked, consumed fresh on site. But that changed at the end of the 19th century when Louis Pasteur invented heat pasteurization. This extended milk's shelf life, allowing it to reach the cities. By the 1950s, the U.S. dairy industry had fully industrialized. Today, the U.S. operates over 9 million dairy cows, producing millions of gallons daily. And it all starts here. Like all mammals, cows only produce milk after pregnancy and birth. To maintain output, farms enforce a strict breeding cycle, usually every 12 to 14 months. Instead of natural mating, most farms use artificial insemination to control reproduction. Technicians insert bull sperm into the cow's uterus via a specialized catheter. The process takes less than a minute. After about 9 months of pregnancy, the cow gives birth, and from then on, it begins producing milk. Within 24 hours of birth, the calf is separated from its mother. The reasons: prevent disease, control feeding, and reserve the milk for production. Male calves are rarely raised for milk. Many are sold to the veal industry or sent to feedlots. Female calves are kept and raised in individual pens to become the next generation of dairy cows. In the first days, calves are bottle-fed colostrum or formula via tube or bottle. By the second week, they start eating hay, pellets, and drinking clean water. This separation is industry standard, but also the root of much debate over animal welfare and maternal bonds. To maintain high productivity, dairy cows receive special care. Their diet includes hay, silage, high-protein feeds, minerals, and sometimes digestive aids or reproductive hormones. Each cow eats about 40 to 60 kilograms of feed and drinks over 100 liters of water daily. Depending on the farm, cows may live in enclosed barns with manure scrapers and cooling fans. Or graze outdoors for several hours daily when conditions allow. Some farms use sensor collars to track individual cow health and milk output. After calving, cows start producing milk almost immediately. In the first 2 to 5 days, they produce colostrum, rich in antibodies, usually reserved for calves or frozen for later use. From day 4 onward, the milk transitions to regular milk, and cows enter full production. They're milked 2 to 3 times daily, continuously for about 10 months. Each session, cows step onto a rotating platform, udders are cleaned, and automatic milking machines are attached. In a few minutes, 15 to 30 liters of milk are extracted via a closed system and chilled immediately. On large farms, milking robots work 24/7. Cows enter the stalls voluntarily when they feel pressure. But to achieve such high yields, cows are selectively bred and intensely fed, producing 5 to 6 times more milk than natural. This leads many to suffer mastitis, hoof pain, and metabolic disorders, especially after years of continuous use. After milking, fresh milk is immediately cooled to below 4 degrees Celsius and pumped into stainless steel tanks. Then, tanker trucks haul it to processing plants, where it's filtered, pasteurized, and packaged. The process starts by filtering out dust, hair, or debris. Then comes pasteurization. The milk is flash heated to around 72 degrees Celsius for a few seconds, enough to kill bacteria without ruining nutrients. After pasteurization, milk fat is standardized, creating familiar varieties. Whole milk retains all natural fat. Low-fat milk, some fat removed. Skim milk, almost no fat. Which one do you prefer? Whole for flavor or skim for lightness? Then milk is homogenized to prevent fat separation, ensuring smooth texture. Finally, milk is automatically bottled, labeled, and shipped to distribution centers. This entire process, from milking to supermarket shelf, usually takes less than 2 days. And from milk comes something 4 to 5 times pricier than cow's milk. Not because it's rare, but because it's difficult. Mozzarella di Bufala, cheese made from buffalo milk, was once a specialty of Italy's Campania region. Today, it appears on gourmet pizzas, upscale salads, even on menus of American restaurant chains. But behind its rich flavor and soft white shell is a process entirely different from cow's cheese. Buffaloes yield less milk, are harder to raise, and every milking session is a challenge. So what makes this cheese so valuable? Mozzarella made from buffalo milk originated in the 12th century in Campania, southern Italy, where Asian water buffalo were introduced to work marshy lands. Unexpectedly, their high-fat milk produced a cheese that was soft, white, rich, and uniquely meltable. But it wasn't until the 21st century, when Italian cuisine went global, that the cheese gained fame in the US. Today, most supermarket mozzarella in the US is made from cow's milk. But buffalo mozzarella, with its unique flavor and value, still holds a special spot, rarer, harder to make, always in demand. Unlike cows, buffaloes yield less milk and are harder to milk. Each buffalo produces about 5 to 7 liters of milk daily, compared to 20 to 30 liters from dairy cows. They're milked twice daily and require skilled hands because their milk reflex is slower. On many traditional farms, milking is still done by hand, or with semi-automatic machines operating at low speed to reduce stress. Interestingly, buffaloes also don't produce milk unless they've calved, just like cows. They need large pens, ponds, or swampy areas to cool off, as they're heat-sensitive and easily stressed. Stress directly affects both milk quality and quantity, making buffalo dairy farming costly and patience-intensive. Right after milking, buffalo milk is filtered and gently warmed to about 33 to 36 degrees Celsius, ideal for fermentation. Unlike industrial cheeses, Mozzarella di Bufala isn't high-heat pasteurized to preserve buffalo milk's natural flavor. Next, natural rennet, usually from calf stomach lining, is added to separate curds and whey. This takes about 20 to 30 minutes, yielding a smooth, soft curd mass. The curd is cut into small chunks, then fermented in whey for 4 to 6 hours. During this time, pH drops, preparing the curd for the next key step: stretching. When the curd reaches the right acidity, pH 4.9 to 5.1, cheesemakers tear it into small bits and pour in hot water at 80 to 90 degrees Celsius. The curd softens and stretches like taffy. Then, with paddles or bare hands, it's pulled, folded, twisted repeatedly. This is the pasta filata technique, creating mozzarella's signature texture, stretchy, smooth, and peelable. After a few minutes of stretching, the cheese is shaped into balls, tied or molded. Sizes vary, from egg-sized bocconcini to large half-kilo chunks. Mozzarella is then dropped into cold brine to hold its shape and moisture. Unlike hard cheeses, buffalo mozzarella isn't aged. It's eaten fresh within a few days for best flavor and texture. After shaping and chilling, each mozzarella ball is packed in light brine to retain moisture and flavor. No rind, no preservatives, so it spoils quickly if not refrigerated. As a fresh cheese, mozzarella di bufala is best consumed within 3 to 5 days of production. In Italy, producers deliver same day or early next morning. In the US, most are cold imported or made locally in small batches. From a single crocodile worth thousands, to a dairy cow producing tons of milk each year, to just a few liters of buffalo milk, turned into cheese foodies pay 5 times more for. Every industrial food product you see, familiar or exotic, goes through a process more intricate than you'd imagine. And often, the truth hides in the steps no one talks about. From a fish bladder used to clarify your wine, to coffee beans that pass through a civet's digestive system before becoming a luxury brew, to pink slime that once sparked global outrage but still quietly fills shelves around the world. The food you eat hides stories no label can tell. Behind every neatly packaged bite lies a chain of science, labor, ethics, and tradition, often tangled, often controversial. Why does one mushroom cost more than a steak? How can instant noodles last years without spoiling? And what really happens inside a flavor lab where artificial tastes are born? These are the kinds of questions most people never ask. But we do. Because at Captain Discovery we dig deep, into the bizarre, into the beautiful, into the brutal truths of how your food is really made. If you're fascinated by the secret machinery of the food world, from factory floors to forgotten farms, then hit subscribe. We've got stories that will change the way you look at your next meal. If you love exploring the hidden side of the food industry, where technique, culture, and controversy collide, then don't forget to subscribe to Captain Discovery, because we'll keep showing you the most elaborate, bizarre, and sometimes unbelievable processes.